This is the start of something new for me, something really big, actually. This is the start of a freedom experiment. And it's something that I've had in the back of my mind for a really long time, but it's kind of the right time and the right place. About 2 weeks ago, the CEO of my company decided that he wanted to go do something else with his life, which is really good. And give Alexi massive love and all the blessings in the world to go do that. But I was faced with this business doing around about $200,000 a month, about two and a half, $3 million a year, and realized that I'm going to be stepping in and running this, but also with a brand new family. Well, obviously, a brand new addition to my family. I've got an 8-year-old son and a 2-year-old, and everything else that I've got going on. I'm buying companies and doing things. That, okay, I've got to take this on. And what's fascinating is it's perfect because for the few months before that, I've been working really, really, really hard at building out AI systems. And so I've come up with this new idea and this concept that I'm going to build an AI operating system for my business because there's no way I'm going back to the full-time 80-hour weeks and really, really grinding after the success I've had in business and in my companies to build companies and sell them. So I've decided to start a movement and an experiment. I'm going to be documenting it over the next few months. I'm building out an AI operating system for my business, which is a multi-million dollar conscious education, personal development, and education company. The goal is to get back to $1 million a month run rate, doing 3 to 4 hours of work a day, living with freedom and doing what matters most. So I want to introduce you officially to the freedom experiment. There's three big pillars to what I'm wanting to bring into this work. The first is the mind. Have the right mind, the 5-step creation code, getting end results, getting in the right structure, everything that I've been teaching in conscious education for years, super important. So many people get them stuck in their business because they don't trust people. They don't think about business the right way. They have money sabotage patterns and all the rest. But most importantly, what I find is people's unconscious patterns stop them more than anything. Second, the machine. How to build a machine using artificial intelligence and not just one-off things, but an actual machine that works together, and how it can work in a way that means your company can thrive without you and maybe even be better than you. So I'm going to be showing you what I have been building, operating systems that work. It's fantastic. It's super cool. And the whole reason for this is the third M, which is meaning. So your mind, meaning in the machine, and then meaning. To really have meaning in life, over the past decade, I have gone from a big failure in business to building a successful company, scaling that, exiting it, launching another company, having that scale, and then retiring and playing golf and becoming a father and just being a speaker and coach. And so I've gone through all these waves from super intense hustle culture with multiple businesses to over 100 staff to selling a company to then having a business run by a CEO and have a lifestyle business. I've invested and paid off all my houses. I've done so many different things. And the truth is that retiring isn't the end result. Finding something that gives you meaning and gives you purpose is the end result. To have something to wake up for. And I'm so excited to lead this movement and start this off and say, this is the movement that I want to lead. And you might ask why now? Well, it feels to me, 2 years ago, I released an AI training where I showed how you could take I built a full business on a plane. And if you haven't seen that video, I'll link it here. It's over 2 years old. And I used AI back then to create a business, to have the video translated into multiple languages and built a business on a plane just using AI. And it was pretty cool. But it still took me doing it all. And we didn't have the ability back then to have architecture of artificial intelligence and agents working together. And however, now, 2.5 years later, now's the time where we have that. And we're going to go through a huge transition on this planet. And the big question we're going to be asking is, once we have artificial intelligence run all of our businesses and do everything we need, what's next? What are we going to do next? What does it mean to be a human being? What is our purpose? And we get to answer that question in the best way and to find our unique path forward in this amazing transformative time. And so I think in the next 2 years, there's going to be this huge gap be closed between the old world and the new world. And some of the things of the old world is we have this thing called a job, and a job doesn't make sense. A job is just a series of tasks conducted by a person that has skills done in a way that's a process. And when you think about breaking down a job into certain tasks, that have certain skills and certain processes, you get to understand that there's some tasks that are really repetitive. They don't need any human input and a machine can do it. And then there's many that are going to always need to have a human. And so I'm deciding to build this on myself first, mainly because I have the opportunity, the business is running, and I don't have the time. So I have the perfect opportunity. The business has already got everything it needs, and it's just taking what's working and then applying and having AI run it. You know, conscious education is the anti-self-help personal development business. We're the personal development company that says, don't do personal development. Don't develop a broken, dysfunctional agenda. Become a creator. And, you know, I wrote the book, You're Not Broken. You're not broken. Don't try to fix yourself. Instead, be a creator. And we've got this amazing company, this amazing brand, and it's really cool. I think also building it in public and being somebody that isn't, I'm not a tech person, you know, I'm not somebody that's built websites. Sure, I've done lots of digital marketing before, and I'm reasonably native when it comes to online systems, but I'm not somebody that's ever coded anything or built a website. So there's the three M's: the mind, machine, to give you meaning. And so I'm going to be talking about the inner game, what most people don't want to start with, and realizing that they've kind of been taught the wrong way. Stuck in big, 80-hour weeks, or working super hard, not able to switch off, their identity wrapped in their business, and not having freedom. And the truth is, that's not freedom. That's just a gold plate cage, you know? So I'm going to sort of plant the flag and say, look, all of us were told through self-help and personal development, NLP or Robbins Dispenza, Mind Valley, to dig up the past and to fix it. And what we talk about is, no, you just don't need to. Become a creator and let go of the past. And there's so much science that says your brain will rewire when it's given correct instructions and when you connect to your highest mind, your superconscious. So we will be talking a lot about that, which leads us to, okay, so now that I am in creativity, well, how do I actually go about creating all these things that I want? And there's always been a few gaps for people, right? They say, I want to have this house, I want to do that, I want to write this book. The first has been a time gap. The second is a skill gap or a knowledge gap. And the third gap has always been money. So the second pillar is the machine, which really closes that gap. We simply have access to information right now. I remember going to the library 15 years ago and checking out amazing books on how to build businesses. I'd go to the library and I'd get books, and the knowledge was so important. We're just simply not in that world anymore. You know, I used to buy courses and learn, and now I use a notebook, LM, which I can show you in a second, which takes all the information right now, and I can get direct reports on the best things I need right now. And I'm going to show you that in upcoming videos. In fact, I'm going to show you everything that I've been able to build out, including a full dashboard, an agent orchestration of multiple different agents, a CEO, CMO. I've even built how to take content, repurpose it, and package it automatically, like all custom built. So the second is the machine. This is the game in the world, because whatever it is you want to achieve, if you can have a machine that's serving the world and making money, creating that flywheel of solving a problem, asking for money, making the world a better place, and taking that money to be able to create your outcomes, the world's just better. And so when you understand this, you do understand that every job is just a series of tasks, and every person that's ever been in your business has a skill and a process with that task. And the challenge I've had is that as a founder of a education company, I had all the information better than anyone else. I mean, I'm the best one. People want to talk to me to buy. I'm the best one when it comes to understand the customer. I know the content the best. I'm the best at writing the ads. Like, everything would always come back to me. And so I found myself being, so important in the business, and found it very difficult to have this business work without me. We get to shift that with AI. And so there's 4 different functions of the machine. The first is the founder intelligence. So you build a machine, a dashboard that tells you where your business is at, where the holes are, but also you upload all of your understanding. So what I did, and I'm going to show you how to do this, I uploaded all of my webinars. I've been doing 2 or 3 a week, like for 7 to 8 years now, thousands of hours of content, books, recordings, put all of that in there, then put all of our marketing material in there, all of our emails we've ever sent, all of our products, put all of that into this brain and help to understand everything that we're doing. And so now it answers things better than me. And the founder intelligence has the dashboard, the business information coming in. It has all that intelligence. And then the third layer is up-to-date intelligence of what's happening in the world. So one thing, for example, is you need to know what's working best when it comes to your advertising and your marketing. Andromeda release on Meta this year is an example where everything changed. And so you get this real world know-how being pulled in. And I'll show you how you can pull all these in, put these three things together, and you have a brain that is like you as the founder. Imagine if you were just working 24/7 around the clock to figure everything out. So that's the first, founder intelligence. The second is marketing and acquisition. So how do you acquire customers? So we've set up multiple different systems to take content and distribute it across the social media. I don't even know if you should call it social media anymore. I think it's more interest-based media. I don't necessarily follow my friends in content anymore. It's not that social. It's more interest-based media. Anyway, that's another topic. How to do content, how to get the ads working. So all your ads connected. I've got a system, Google and Facebook, where ads run better than when they're running with a person. Having your brand voice to be able to get into new places, SEO, but also AI optimization, search inside AI, how to optimize that. So that's the second pillar of the machine. The third pillar is sales. Is once you've acquired a customer, they've bought a small thing, they've bought your book, they've signed up for something small. How do you then get them into your big programs? How do you get them into the big offer? They bought, one t-shirt from you. One of the things that we've launched is a organic clothing brand and a supplement brand. All the other things we're doing is you get them into something, but how do you get them to buy more? How do you get them to buy bigger stuff using particular campaigns and strategies and funnels? And so that's a whole AI, but also there's chatbots in there. There's also customer support agents and voice agents. I've been able to replicate my voice, and you will too. And you can have voice notes be led, and you can also have agents talking to your customers in real time. And it's absolutely wild to see that happen. So sales AI, and lastly, operations. And this is the most boutique. This was took me the longest time, is all the little things, right? Like paying sales commissions and team organization and mission, vision, values of the company and hiring and KPIs and metrics, but all the small stuff like how this thing talks to that and this to that, just all the data and operations levels. That's what's going to take the longest time. So we're going to be talking about the machine and how it is not just chatbots or tools or just little agents sprinkled here. It's a machine, an operating system. And I've been building it out in the background, and I've got the whole architecture and the whole picture. And so what we're going to be seeing in the upcoming videos and what we're up to is how we're applying this to our business. And I'm just going to be handing you across, full downloadable workbooks, I guess, or playbooks. And one of the first ones I'm going to give you is my Zoom to Content playbook. It's fascinating. You take a Zoom video. Okay, I've connected it through AI, that the AI reads that, turns it into a script, finds the hottest parts of that video, clips it into little clips, takes every single one of those clips, edits it up so that it can go onto YouTube Shorts, Instagram, and TikTok, then takes the blog, adds the blog post underneath it, writes a newsletter and a LinkedIn feed. I think from every one 20-minute Zoom, I end up with 24 different outputs out the other side. Super cool. So I'll be showing you that and giving you that straight away. Another system I built is a faceless content system that goes and researches my topics, turns into amazing carousels and amazing notes, and does it all automatically, spitting out 3 every single day. And so there's a lot of things I'm going to be showing you, but it all leads back to meaning. What matters to you? And I tell you what matters to me is being an example of where I want humanity to go. I don't want to look back at this and say, I wasn't a part of at least trying, because I don't know if we're going to be able to do it, but at least trying to help us pass this test we're in. As Buckminster Fuller said it, we're in a final test, a final exam. And that test or exam is whether we will use the technology to create a planet where we all thrive, or a planet that we destroy. And so for me, when it comes to what am I going to do with my life, I could just go play golf and hang out with my kids. I've already ticked the financial number that I would ever need in this lifetime. But that's just not enough for me. I'm not satisfied with that. What matters to me is to lead a movement and to help people understand how to use AI in the right way to be able to create freedom matters to me, and to be able to start doing things right. So I'm so excited to be doing this with you. And so it's not just my project, this is a movement. There's a huge opportunity, and it's our generation, everyone that's alive right now, to be able to build a business to give themselves freedom. You know, there's a generation of people coming through and everything's going to be different for them. This idea of jobs will no longer exist. I think what's going to happen is everyone will have an AI that they have trained that can do what we will now call a job. And you'll be able to train and make that AI so precise and specific that that's what gets hired. And you're the orchestrator of that AI. Anyway, it's so interesting to be a part of it. So look, I would love to hear your feedback on this and to be a part of it. And what I'm going to ask is that you get engaged and be a part of my journey as I share this with you, because I'm going to be teaching you what I'm doing, but also showing you all the frustrations and challenges. And I decided to put this video together now, and I've already had a bunch of frustration and challenges. So let me lay them out. So I started firstly with a system called OpenClaw. I bought a separate computer, created OpenClaw agent. And OpenClaw, if you didn't know, is one of the first kind of autonomous or agentic agents that came out. It was able to think on its own and do things for you. And I burnt through a few $1,000s, about 5,000, I think, all up, maybe a bit more. And about 3 weeks of time, just spinning my wheels. It was too technical, way too hard for me. The next thing that I attempted was Claude. And I did Claude and I used Claude Code and I got there and I was building out systems and everything else. And I connected Facebook. I used a system called Manus to connect Facebook. I was running ads, I was running Google, and it was great. But the problem I found was that I couldn't share it very easily with anyone else. I couldn't have anyone else work on it. So again, it was me running it, and it wasn't an architecture. And so I've created an architecture, created a system that works together, that my team can be engaged with, that I can help others be engaged with, so we can all work on one database. And that's been really, 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 really interesting. So I'll be showing you all of that in the next video. I've built an army of intelligence and agents that work together to build my company for me to be able to have freedom. So leave a message. Let me know. On the next video, I'm going to start guiding you through some of the specific things that I've actually built. And I'm going to share with you one massive, massive, massive challenge that I faced in the first, I guess, first 2 weeks. I've been doing this now 2 weeks, 2 and a bit weeks, that basically burnt 3 days worth of work. And I'll share with you that secret system that brings it all together. So leave a message underneath this, and I will see you on the next episode. This is episode number 0. This is the announcement of the Freedom Experiment. And I'm just so thrilled to help you live with more freedom, to get your mind, build a machine, and have meaning. See you in the next video. Bye.